when the rapture happens and we go to heaven, will our pets be raptured with us? The person says they've seen several scriptures that seem to talk about that. Could you give me your thoughts?
Sure, and we have people too who often ask this question about pets. Will my pets be in heaven and so forth? And first of all, I want to say that I do believe in the rapture. I know these guys rib me a little bit, but I believe that it happens on the last day. Jesus is on his way down to judge the earth. The dead in Christ will rise first. Those who are alive and remain will be gathered together, and we'll all be coming down. And it does talk about horses, so I do believe that animals will continue in the new heavens and the new earth. Otherwise, sin has destroyed forever part of God's creation, and I just don't believe that's God's intention. Now, whether or not the animals that die in this age go to heaven, I don't think the Bible's clear on that. I can't say to you definitely yes, but I can't say to you definitely no. I know there have been some. I think I can't remember his name now, the great empiricist. I think John Locke. I think he was the first one to say animals don't have souls. The Bible certainly doesn't say anything about that as far as I can tell. And I know the earlier theologians did say that not only did the animals have souls, but they talked about vegetative souls and things like that. Man is the reasonable soul. We are made in the image of God. But whether or not that happens, here's the thing I know. Whatever heaven is, it's going to be far beyond our wildest expectations. People are, I think, more afraid of, well, heaven's not going to be heaven for me if Fido isn't there. Whatever is, you're fearful of, heaven's going to be so far beyond your wildest expectations. It's going to be so satisfying. We're going to look in the face of Christ, and desire will cease, because it will all be fulfilled. Amen. There'll be nothing more to desire. There'll be nothing to miss. You're going to see the face of Jesus, and you're going to be completely full of joy with no lack. And so I think that needs to be the focus.
Well, isn't that good? I mean, it's good to think about what heaven's really going to be like. And even if Fluffy isn't there, I think we'll be
the
all right.
presence of God will overshadow that.
Well, I think that if some of our loved ones are not going to be there.
There you go.
And the Lord, somehow, it says that he wipes away all tears from our eyes. Somehow, we're going to be able to make it through. I mean, just think about that. Someone, your child or your spouse or your parent that didn't know Christ, and they're not going to be in heaven. And somehow, God is going to, as Ray said, he's going to work in that situation so that your heart is not aching, your memory is not wounded, your soul is not aching, and he's gonna so work it out that you're gonna be able to function at a high level in heaven without your loved one being there. So I would imagine, if your pet is not there, it's not going. If he can do it for a loved one, surely he can do it for a pet. But then I think that the bottom line is, if God feels that it's necessary for your pet to be there, then your pet will be there.
You think. In the presence of the Lord is fullness of joy, and at his right hand are pleasures forevermore. We're going to be in the presence of complete joy and complete shalom.
And I'm a pre-trib guy, so for me, looking at for him, I could see where he may say, okay, you know what, maybe the pets will go, because at that point, he's talking about the end of days. Mm-hmm. If you're a pre-trib person, I don't believe you'd be sitting there with your cat going to go to heaven and be changed incorruptible. I just don't believe that would be the case. They're going to be changed incorruptible. But as far as pets being in heaven, though, I do believe that God created everything. When you were talking, I thought about, man, there'll be Jurassic Park up there and everything, man. We'll see all sorts of dinosaurs. I mean, this is all part of God's creation. Yeah. Think about it. And when he created all of these things, all these animals, man was to be eternal. So he has that in his mind, that somewhere along the line, and he said all of creation groans to be redeemed. So not the fact that animals need to be saved, but the fact of being part of this sinful culture that we're in, coming out of that. But I do believe that that's part of God's handiwork, having animals. And
well, the Bible talks about the lamb laying down with the lion, right? So there's obviously animals there. Yeah.